Hello, adventurers! My name is Chance. Welcome to my Spellbook, and thank you so much for tuning into the 38th episode of our background series. Today we're going to be going over one of the more classic-y backgrounds, at least in terms of concept. We're going over the Outlander. Now this is actually relatively similar to a couple of the other backgrounds we've covered. Namely, you can make an argument for the Gru Anarch being very similar. Outside of that, the Far Traveler is likely pretty similar. There's a handful of them here and there, but it's really just a traveler, to make it as simple as, or wanderer, I guess. That's what this feature is called, but it's all kind of the same gist from a thematic standpoint. In any case, if this is the first of the background videos you're watching, or if you haven't seen all of them, just click on the playlist either by clicking that little eye icon up top there, or waiting until the end of the video and just clicking on the little end card when the video's over. That being said, let's dive into the Outlander by first taking a moment and going over its description. You grew up in the wilds, far from civilization and the comforts of town and technology. You've witnessed the migration of herds larger than forests, survived weather more extreme than any city dweller could comprehend, and enjoyed the solitude of being the only thinking creature for miles in any direction. And it provides you with a nice little D10 table regarding your origin. Use it if you like, or come up with your own if you'd like. It's kind of just there to help guide you in any case. Now let's move on to its mechanics here. Under skill proficiency, you gain athletics and survival, which are both incredibly useful. Under tool proficiency, you gain one type of musical instrument. Under languages, you gain one of your choice. And in terms of equipment, you gain a staff, hunting trap, trophy of an animal you killed, set of traveler's clothes, and 10 GP. The hunting trap, by the way, is a very impressive tool. Essentially, you lay it on the ground, affix it with a chain to an immovable object, tree, rock, or you can just drive it into the ground with a spike. When a creature steps on the plate, they must make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw, or take 1d4 piercing damage and have their movement reduced to 0. Afterwards, until they're broken free, their movement is limited by the length of the chain, which is typically about 3 feet long, but you can make it longer or shorter as desired. And the creature has to use as its action to make a DC 13 strength saving check to free itself, or another creature can do it for them, but still consumes the action and the saving throw, or the check rather. It is a check, sorry, my bad. The DC 13 strength is a check, freeing itself on a success. Very good stuff, and each failed check deals 1 damage until, the creature dies or is released. In any case, it goes really well with a poisoner, but it's really neat nonetheless. Now let's take a quick moment and go over its feature. This one is called Wanderer. You have an excellent memory for maps and geography, and you can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. In addition, you can find food and fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided that the land offers berries, small game, water, and so forth. Now this is a much more realistic version of the Gru Anarch. If you haven't checked out that video, please do so in the playlist, which takes this to like a ridiculously great conclusion. In any case, if for whatever reason your DM has banned the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica backgrounds, which is super understandable, this is a great second option. The biggest drawback to this is if you have a ranger in your party, or even a druid to some extent, this does remove a lot of the impact they are likely to have on your party. Providing a safe location, clean drinking water, and food up to 5 people, which meets most party size requirements, is really good stuff. That being said, let's move on to some suggested characteristics. For the personality trait I went with, I was, in fact, raised by wolves. Under ideal, might. The strongest are meant to rule, and that will take you towards the evil alignment. Under bond, an injury to the unspoiled wilderness of my home is an injury to me. And under flaw, violence is my answer to almost any challenge. I really did just model this really after a wolf. It's really interesting stuff. It would suit a druid quite ideally, almost to a point of them being the party's pet. Outside of that, it would serve a barbarian quite well as well. Overall, I really like it. I think there's a lot you can do with a character like this, and it provides some interesting character arcs and incentive. For example, how would a character like this react to realizing that there were tons of domesticated dogs that were just kept as pets, just chilling out, being fed, or worse yet, being forced to fight each other, maybe? That being said, let's get to my personal thoughts on it. I like the Outlander. I think it's really well balanced and provides a rather unique style of play. The only downside to it is a lot of the characters that are going to turn out as a direct result of this background are going to be rather plain, boring, and one-dimensional to start out with. That being said, it gives them an excellent playing field to grow from and advance and come into their own. By that, what I'm kind of referring to is the fact that since they grew up in such a stagnant, unchanging environment, it's likely that their personality isn't going to be very well varied. Their cultural understanding is going to be quite limited, to put it lightly. But as they discover those things and as they're forced to encounter and deal with those issues, they will change from how they started out. That being said, it's always important to keep your characteristics up to date, change them as needed, and have them reflect who your character is at the start or end of that session. In any case, let me know what you think of the Outlander down beneath in the comment section. Be sure to mention any thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns you have regarding it. And of course, if you'd like to gain access to a free one-shot, please use code WELCOME over at the Guild Hall and get yours for free. That being said, I hope you all have a great day, and as always, happy adventuring, everyone.